Every time I watch him play, his arm angles, the way he throws, and the velocity he has on the football is pretty unreal.
Do you think that he can continue to put his body out there like that for long term, for longevity?
I keep on thinking that he's a lot like Jim Kelly in a way, that he's going to be probably 12 years and done because, I mean, high jumping people. He ran that quarterback read last night and jumped into the. I'm just like, oh, Josh, it looks great right now. And yes, you got to meet Jay-Z after the game last night. And you're living the dream, but I just don't know how long that body is going to be able to withstand some of the hits he takes and the way he plays.
But Buffalo beat him pretty bad, right? Last night,
the score was 24-10.
Okay,
is what the score was.
Mac Jones was upset at Matt Patricia. Holy cow!
Oh, he went nuts at the play calling. I mean, Matt Jones went off last night, man. On his some of the passing stats, we had Josh Allen was 22 for 33. 223 yards total, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. Mac Jones was 22 for 36 for the Patriots, 195 yards, 1 TD, 0 interceptions. Rushing James Cook for Buffalo, 14 carries, 64 yards. Stevenson for the Patriots, 10 carries, only 54 yards. So, I mean, they just, in receiving, of course, Diggs is going to do Diggs type stuff. 92 yards, 7 receptions. Thornton for the Patriots, only 2 catches, 31 yards. So they just dominated, man. The Patriots just got dominated. I love watching New England lose, though.
Well, in the middle of that game, though, the thing I noticed about them that makes run the ball guy really happy in Nebraska is Buffalo ran the ball.
Yeah, I
mean, there was a portion there in the first and second quarters where they just said, "Fine, we're just going to run clock because you're giving us 4 or 5 a crack."
Yep.
And they just grind it out. They just grind you and grind you and grind you is what they do. They beat you up like that. Want to mention this. Good friend of ours, obviously a friend of the station, Steve Taylor, former Nebraska quarterback. There was the rumors yesterday were just, and I'm not getting deep in it. It was ridiculous at a point. I mean, not a point. It was seriously obscene, ridiculous. And some of them, I'm not even going to say laughable because the situation is so serious, but it's just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
And this was, I mean, it was nationwide.
Yeah.
It ran rampant from nationwide. I had 125 text messages on my phone. Not counting, and some of them I haven't got back yet, but mostly from my former teammates.
You don't have to text me back. I'm good.
What's that?
You don't have to text me
I see
back.
you.
I'm good.
He doesn't usually text us back.
No, he texts me right away.
Oh, wow.
Not me.
He must have your contact up as one of the favorites. Where it's just the icon and everything.
Star, yeah.
But we wanted to clear that up. The situation, anything, there was no whatsoever, no conflict between Steve Taylor and Mickey Joseph. Those two have been tight for years. Mickey and Steve are Steve's family. The whole Taylor family supported Priscilla and Mickey's family for years. They're doing that right now. Yesterday, that was something that took place as well through this whole process. And so anything you heard out there regarding Steve Taylor and Mickey and any conflict, none whatsoever. They were together yesterday, okay, once things once released, etc. Wanted to put that out there, though, because Steve is a friend of the family, the radio family, Husker family, this family here at the radio station. I've known Steve 35 years since I was a kid when he got here in 86. As well as my older brother Mark, we've all known the families for years, and we respect them. And so, anything it's what's sad in our culture, though, in our society today, and even some of the people that call themselves experts were posting some stuff that was just so foul. There's a lot of people that lost a lot of credibility yesterday.
Oh yeah, totally.
A lot of credibility yesterday.
And just because it's on Twitter does not mean something is true. Good Lord.
Oh really?
Shoot! Surprise!
And just because someone on Twitter self-proclaims themselves as Husker insiders, stick to the insiders, the true professionals like the Sips, the guys who really know what's going on, because guys like that don't report, bull crap like that. Legitimate journalists do not get in that. So all the Twitter sphere, the Facebook things, and I'm glad that Steve posted on what he did yesterday on Facebook. So if you want clarification, you can definitely visit Steve Taylor's Facebook page. It clarifies everything right there as far as that situation. So we're not getting any legal things, but that situation right there, there is no truth to that whatsoever. Again, the Taylor family and the Joseph family are tight, have always been that way, and continue to work with each other through this process. So there's that. Want to put that out there. That's all I'm going with that situation on there. So again, it's Friday, and we have Tom Massey. We're going to kind of start calling it Tom's Take. Tom's Take. We got Tom Massey in the house from the mean streets of Fox Hollow.
It was rough out there in East Lincoln.
I'm sure
it was rough.
Fighting battles.
Yeah.
So, Tom, what were some of the stresses in the mean streets of Fox Hollow growing up in the mid '80s, early '80s?
Well, back then, I mean, every once in a while, your bike would lose a chain, and you're like, half a mile from home, and do you have to walk the half mile to get back? I mean, we didn't have cell phones. It was tough.
Tom, did you spend a lot of time at Gateway Mall?
Yeah, we were always mauling.
Always
And don't overlook the old East Park.
Yeah. Sluggles?
Sluggos. Back in the day when you can roll into a Sluggos and play defender and watch 12-year-olds just cranking heaters. Just pulling smokes out of their pocket like every time they put a quarter in the machine. Like, wow.
Yeah.
The glory days, as we call them.
Man, the mean streets of Fox Hollow, man. What's that?
It was tough.
Get you a slice of Charles pizza, and those were the days at East Park.
You had East Park Plaza, you had Gateway Mall, and remember downtown you had the Atrium.
Atrium, yeah.
The Atrium was cool. They had a place called Orange Julius.
Yes.
Inside of there, and
Yes.
we see us on the north side of town, the main streets of North Lincoln, 1305 North 25th. Represent, North Side.
Was the Orange Julius connected to the Dairy Queen yet?
No.
Because that's
No.
I've never
Yeah.
seen an Orange Julius not connected to a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, it was
First Orange Julius I ever went to was Fort Dodge, Iowa in 1983.
And it gave you diabetes.
And you
the first
remember?
one you had. Like if you want late onset
It was
diabetes.
it was life changing. Yeah. It was like
Orange Julius was life changing.
oh yeah.
It was good, man.
Interesting.
It was good. See, you never Orange Julius was gone by the time you came around, wasn't it?
No, so like Orange Julius was there. It just was always connected with the Dairy Queen.
Okay.
And I don't treat Dairy Queen as a normal fast food restaurant.
Right.
I treat Dairy Queen as the ice cream shop.
Okay.
And so whenever I go to Dairy Queen, I'm not trying to get Orange Julius and like Dairy Queen. I'm trying just to get ice cream. So I never partake. I never was. I think I've had Orange Julius maybe one time in my entire life.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's what I'm feeling.
It's there were some great spots that were inside
Pro Image.
Pro Image.
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
man. Pro Image.
Got a lot of John Elway posters from there.
Oh,
Play the song.
Oh my goodness, man. Play it, man. I can't.
You must be out of your damn mind.
But the kicker of all that is I took probably maybe 25% of them out of the wrapper, and all the rest of them I still have them in the wrapper. So I think they still probably go at about 100 to 150 a pop right now. So one day.
Jeez.
Depressed Tim Miles. I don't know if it's true. He goes, but we appreciate it. I read on Twitter that AD, Raff, and Nick are the best radio trio in history. Is that true? I don't know about history. We try to hold our own.
I mean, you'd have to
Answer no.
say,
Come on, guys.
I was say you have to. I mean, Raff, really?
Come on.
I mean, did you miss yesterday's show?
Did
you miss yesterday's show?
it was Radio Genius yesterday. There were dark clouds and it was gloomy in Lincoln.
Yeah, and
yesterday.
you
No, it was gloomy in the studio
yeah,
yesterday.
it's gloomy.
I cleared the gloom.
How did you clear the gloom by absolutely destroying the studio?
Oh, I meant room. My bad. Sorry.
Okay. It was brutal, man. It was brutal. Also, we talked about the Huskers volleyball game last night. They won in 3 sets against Delaware State.
And it was a beatdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a beatdown. I watched the highlights of that. I know Rico was there seeing it firsthand, but yeah, that was a beatdown that took place. There's one thing that I'm struggling with right now, though, fellas. Our women's basketball team has not recovered since that Creighton game, man.
Yeah, well, so last night, I mean, they had to face number 9 Virginia Tech on the road.
Mhm.
So it's not like they lost to an unranked team. Number 9 Virginia Tech, they lost big time. I mean,
88-67.
yeah, it was a single digit or hovering around that 10-point deficit for a majority of the game, but it was separated in the start of the fourth quarter. I read that Virginia Tech scored the first 13 points. They went on a 13-0 run to start the fourth quarter.
That score. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was bigger.
85-54.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
reading the men's Boston College.
No, that's right. So
85-54.
So 85-54, and Nebraska allowed Virginia Tech to start on a 13-0 run last night. And so I think that's what was a problem. I mean, it's hard to recover from that. I mean, 13-0 run in a 10-minute quarter, it's tough to.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
The team stats: Nebraska shot 34% from the field goals. Virginia Tech shot 51%. 3-pointers, we were 6 for 20, which is not terrible, but it ain't good. They were 30%, but Virginia Tech was 42% from the 3-point line, 10 for 24. Free throws, we shot 80%. We always usually do. Rebounds, though, was somewhat close. They beat us 36-30. Offensive board, 7-6 them. One of the biggest things, though, we have 11 turnovers. You got a team that's hot, you turn the ball over 11 times, it's going to be hard to stay in the game. So Nebraska women's basketball goes down to Virginia Tech. Number 9, Virginia Tech, 85-54. So there was a lot of news there that took place there. Not the good news they needed, though. But this weekend, and as we get more into this portal, and that's going to be huge. That's coming up. But before we get to that part, Mass, before we go, we're going to go to break here pretty quick. But, man, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the assistant coaches, Tom's take and what he did as far as just researching rule and just kind of tendencies of our offensive coordinator, what that could potentially look like here at Nebraska. So I'm interested to see, Massey, what you came up with, what you found out, because I am interested to see. It's going to be more of the same of what we've been watching the past year in particular, which you hope that's not going to be the case, or we've seen the past 4 years as far as that goes. So all of that's going to depend on personnel, because on that starts up on Monday. And the portal is already going crazy right now, which we lost a few yesterday, which we'll get into is when we get back. But we're going to pay a few bills. We'll be back and get Tom's take. That's what we'll do this morning.